Right.
Yeah?
No, just a couple American kids, no unusual travel.
But just some atypical strain of Lyme in those Boston doctors.
Most people are familiar with this woman from 90s action films. Rene Russo captivated audiences with her tough yet vulnerable performances in blockbusters like Lethal Weapon 3 and The Thomas Crown Affair, establishing herself as one of Hollywood's most bankable leading ladies. Her appearances in major films gradually diminished after the early 2000s. Today, I would like to recall the bright career of Rene Russo and understand why this talented actress seemingly disappeared from the spotlight. Before Rene Russo became a household name in Hollywood, she spent nearly 2 decades as one of the fashion industry's most successful models. Born in Burbank, California in 1954, Russo was discovered at a Rolling Stones concert when she was just 17 years old. Her striking looks and natural presence in front of the camera quickly made her one of the most sought-after models of the 1970s and early 1980s, appearing on numerous magazine covers, including Vogue and Cosmopolitan. Despite her success in modeling, Russo's transition to acting came relatively late. She was already in her mid-30s when she made her screen debut in 1989's Major League. Unlike many actresses who begin their careers in their early 20s, Russo was approaching 35 when she first appeared on screen, an age when many actresses in Hollywood were already struggling to find substantial roles. In Major League, Russo played Lynn Wells, the ex-girlfriend of Tom Berenger's character, Jake Taylor. While the film was a commercial success, grossing $49.8 million on an $11 million budget, Russo's role was relatively minor, and few could have predicted the meteoric rise that would follow. Russo's genuine breakthrough came in 1992 when she was cast opposite Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon 3. As Internal Affairs Officer Lorna Cole, Russo brought a tough yet feminine energy to the successful franchise. The film was a massive hit, grossing over $321.7 million worldwide against a budget of $35 million, establishing Russo as a legitimate box office draw. Her chemistry with Gibson was palpable, and audiences responded enthusiastically to her character's ability to hold her own in the action sequences. The success of Lethal Weapon 3 opened numerous doors for Russo, and she quickly became one of Hollywood's most in-demand actresses. In 1993, she starred in The Line of Fire, alongside Clint Eastwood. The political thriller received critical acclaim and performed well at the box office, grossing $176.9 million worldwide. Russo's performance as Secret Service agent Lily Raines further solidified her reputation as an actress who could bring both intelligence and sex appeal to substantial roles. 1995 proved to be a particularly strong year for Russo, with appearances in 2 major films. She starred alongside Dustin Hoffman and Morgan Freeman in the medical disaster film Outbreak, which grossed $189 million worldwide. But it was her role as Karen Flores in Barry Sonnenfeld's Get Shorty that truly showcased her range. The crime comedy, based on Elmore Leonard's novel, was both a critical and commercial success, grossing $115 million globally and earning Russo praise for her performance opposite John Travolta and Gene Hackman. The following year, Russo starred in Tin Cup with Kevin Costner and Ransom with Mel Gibson. Tin Cup performed modestly at the box office, bringing in $75.9 million worldwide, but Ransom was a substantial hit, grossing $309.5 million globally. As the wife of Gibson's wealthy airline owner in Ransom, Russo delivered an emotionally charged performance that demonstrated her ability to excel in dramatic roles. Russo's career reached its zenith in 1999 with The Thomas Crown Affair, a remake of the 1968 film starring Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway. Opposite Pierce Brosnan, Russo played insurance investigator Catherine Banning, a role that required both sophistication and sexuality. At 45 years old, Russo boldly performed nude scenes, breaking Hollywood taboos about actresses over 40. The film grossed $124.3 million worldwide and became one of her most iconic performances, proving that a woman in her mid-40s could still be a credible romantic lead in a major Hollywood production. However, following the success of The Thomas Crown Affair, Russo's career began to encounter obstacles. Her next major film, in 2002, Russo starred in Big Trouble, a comedy directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. The film's release was delayed due to the September 11th attacks because its plot involved a nuclear bomb on a plane. When it was finally released, it grossed only $8.5 million against a $40 million budget, becoming one of the biggest box office disappointments of Russo's career. Another significant misstep came with the 2005 family comedy Yours, Mine, and Ours, where Russo starred alongside Dennis Quaid. While the film made $72 million worldwide against a $45 million budget, technically a profit, it was panned by critics, with Russo's performance receiving little positive attention. The film's tepid reception marked a turning point, suggesting that Russo was struggling to find roles that showcased her talents effectively. Behind the scenes, Russo was facing the harsh realities of Hollywood's treatment of aging actresses. Despite her proven track record, substantial roles for women in their 50s were scarce. In an industry notorious for sidelining actresses as they age, Russo found herself at a crossroads. Unlike male counterparts like Mel Gibson or Kevin Costner, who continued to receive leading roles well into their 50s and 60s, Russo faced diminishing opportunities. One production room anecdote that circulated involved a major studio project where Russo was initially considered for the female lead, only to be passed over for an actress nearly 20 years her junior. The studio executives reportedly felt that the romantic pairing would be more believable with a younger actress, despite the male lead being in his late 50s. This double standard was indicative of the challenges Russo was facing in the industry. Another complicating factor in Russo's career trajectory was her selective approach to roles. Unlike some of her contemporaries who took on a high volume of projects, Russo was known to be particular about the part she accepted. In a 2014 interview, she admitted, "I'm not someone who works to work." This selectivity, while artistically admirable, likely contributed to her reduced visibility during the 2000s. Additionally, Russo has been open about her struggles with bipolar disorder, a condition she was diagnosed with in her 30s. While she has not explicitly cited this as a reason for any career decisions, managing such a condition while maintaining the demanding schedule of a Hollywood actress undoubtedly presented challenges. Following Yours, Mine, and Ours, Russo entered what would become a 6-year hiatus from the big screen. During this period, she focused on her family life with her husband, screenwriter Dan Gilroy, and their daughter Rose. The industry's reaction to her absence was telling. There was little public speculation about her next project, suggesting that Hollywood had moved on to younger talents. When asked about her absence in later interviews, Russo was candid. "I didn't miss working. I didn't miss the limelight. I didn't miss any of it." This perspective offered insight into an actress who had found fulfillment beyond the constraints of Hollywood success, a rarity in an industry often defined by relentless ambition. After her extended break from acting, Russo made a notable return to the big screen in 2011 with Thor, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As Frigga, mother of Thor, Russo took on a supporting role in a massive franchise that grossed $449.3 million worldwide. While not a leading part, it reintroduced her to audiences and demonstrated her willingness to adapt to the changing landscape of Hollywood, where superhero films had become dominant. She reprised the role in Thor: The Dark World, 2013, which performed even better at the box office, earning $644.8 million globally. Though her screen time was limited, Russo's presence added gravitas to the franchise, and her character's fate became an emotional cornerstone of the film. However, Russo's true comeback arrived in 2014 with Nightcrawler, written and directed by her husband Dan Gilroy. In this dark thriller, Russo played Nina Romina, a television news director desperate for ratings. At 60 years old, she delivered one of the most compelling performances of her career, earning a BAFTA nomination for Best Supporting Actress. The film was a critical darling and performed respectably at the box office, grossing $50.3 million against a modest $8.5 million budget. What made Russo's performance in Nightcrawler particularly significant was that it defied Hollywood's typical treatment of actresses her age. Her character was complex, morally ambiguous, and explicitly sexual, the kind of nuanced role rarely offered to women over 60 in mainstream cinema. In interviews promoting the film, Russo acknowledged the scarcity of such opportunities. "There aren't that many parts for women my age. I'm not going to lie about that." Following the success of Nightcrawler, Russo appeared in the comedy The Intern, 2015, alongside Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. The film was a moderate commercial success, grossing $194.6 million worldwide. In 2019, she reunited with her Nightcrawler co-star Jake Gyllenhaal for Velvet Buzzsaw, another collaboration with her husband, Dan Gilroy. The satirical horror film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival before being released on Netflix, receiving mixed reviews but further demonstrating Russo's willingness to take on challenging, unconventional projects. She also returned to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, briefly appearing in Avengers: Endgame, 2019, which became one of the highest-grossing films of all time with $2,598 billion worldwide. While her role was small, it connected her to a cultural phenomenon and introduced her to a new generation of moviegoers. Most recently, Russo starred in the action comedy Just Getting Started, 2017, alongside Morgan Freeman and Tommy Lee Jones. Unfortunately, the film was both a critical and commercial disappointment, grossing just $6.7 million against a $22 million budget. In 2021, she appeared in the family film Unicorn Store, directed by Brie Larson and released on Netflix, taking on a supporting role as the mother of Larson's character. Currently, Rene Russo maintains a selective approach to her work, appearing in projects that genuinely interest her rather than seeking constant visibility. At 70 years old, she has no confirmed major projects in development, suggesting that she continues to prioritize quality over quantity. Russo's career legacy is one of resilience and authenticity in an industry often hostile to both. She defied conventional wisdom by beginning her acting career in her mid-30s and reaching her peak in her mid-40s, proving that talent and screen presence could transcend Hollywood's age barriers. Her performances in films like The Thomas Crown Affair, Get Shorty, and Nightcrawler showcase an actress of remarkable range, equally comfortable in action, comedy, drama, and thriller genres. What stalled Russo's career wasn't a lack of talent or audience appeal, but rather an industry structure that routinely sidelines women as they age, regardless of their capabilities. Despite these systemic challenges, she managed to craft a career on her own terms, taking extended breaks when desired, and returning to deliver performances that reminded audiences and critics of her exceptional abilities. If Hollywood continues its gradual shift toward more substantive roles for women across all age groups, then Rene Russo's selective but impactful appearances could evolve into a full-fledged renaissance. Her work in Nightcrawler proved that audiences respond enthusiastically to seeing her in complex, challenging roles, the kind that an actress of her caliber deserves, regardless of age.